The blue waters were calm, and life went on as usual in Pearl Harbor. A group of American naval officers laughed loudly. Across the Pacific in Japan, an ambitious conquest was about to unfold. Amidst laughter and dismissive remarks, one officer said derisively, "What are a few submarines? They can't even sink a paper boat." What they didn't know was that on that day, they were witnessing the beginning of their own end. It was here that the idea that would change the dynamics of naval battles was born. The I-400 class submarines, known as the Forbidden, had an innovative design. They were the largest submarines in the world, equipped with torpedoes and the ability to launch aircraft. However, the project wasn't born easy. Initially, it faced internal resistance. "They're too big, too complex," the engineers said. Initial tests revealed chronic failures. The first prototypes sank like stones. "Speed is acceptable, but maneuverability is a nightmare," one report stated. No one imagined that this apparent failure carried the seed of victory. The I-400 submarines were finally sent for their first combat test. But during the Battle of Midway, frustration set in among the crew. The report said, "Flies like a brick." Aircraft launched from the deck faced catastrophic difficulties. Enemies laughed at the clumsy maneuvers. Submarines were treated as anathema in a hostile ocean. What should have been the pinnacle of engineering became a public stain on Japan. The shame echoed through the Navy's ranks, fueling criticism and distrust. The enemy was right, for now. The invisible turnaround came at an unexpected time. During a secret experiment, improvements were implemented. Engineers adjusted the hydrodynamics and speed increased. A new cloaking tactic was developed, allowing submarines to hide more effectively beneath the surface. A young officer, inspiring the team with his words, "Today, we need the spirit of fighting and innovation. The mighty I-400s could be the key to victory." This statement became a symbol of resilience. The monster was about to be reborn. With the rebirth of the I-400s, enemy perception changed dramatically. Rumors spread. "They're developing a new weapon," spies reported. Laughter turned to fear. "What's that? We've heard about the new submarines. We need to be on alert." Reports of the I-400's destructive power became narratives of dread on American operations desks. "Their torpedoes could change the course of the war," warned one commander. The psychological impact of the submarine's presence now became a terrifying shadow over the adversaries. The cadence of the 8 cannons sounded like uninterrupted thunder. The power of the I-400 submarines was evident. They were war machines that reflected a new mentality, adaptation and surprise. At their core, they represented the struggle between freedom and tyranny, pragmatism and ideology. The essence of power lies in the ability to adapt. "The I-400 is the future," stated a renowned engineer. The numbers spoke for themselves. In just one operation, they launched 6 successful attacks, sinking enemy cargo and subverting expectations. This shift in the logic of war was palpable, reconfiguring strategies and demonstrating how ingenuity can triumph over brute force. A true lesson in adaptation. Those who laughed were now destroyed by their own illusions. The irony became cruel. Enemy pilots, who had previously rejoiced in the submarine's fragility, now faced terror in the form of metal and water. They laughed when they first saw her. They stopped laughing when they realized the sound of laughter mingled with the thunder of defeat. The thunder spoke, and the sky was never theirs again. This epic documentary reminds us that true ingenuity and resilience can change the course of history. The forbidden Japanese submarines, once seen as obsolete, have become a symbol of what human ingenuity can accomplish even under the most adverse challenges. An eternally relevant lesson in innovation, adaptation,